Hello everybody, Bagels Gaming here. Welcome back to Road of Tanks, and today I have another tank review for you guys. This time, as per request of one of the comments on my previous tank review in the IS-5, if in case you didn't see the IS-5 tank review, go and check that out. It was pretty good, I think. I think I did pretty well with it. So, I was requested to do a tank review on the Chrysler K and IS-6. Unfortunately, I don't want to spend 8,000 bonds on the Chrysler K, and it's not inside the tech tree, so I can't use my beta test account, some surplus of gold, to purchase it, like I could the IS-6. So I bought the IS-6 with gold. Don't recommend ever doing that. Ever. Don't buy it with gold. Terrible idea. But I bought one, so you don't have to, and I'm going to do a tank review on the IS-6. So, things that I'm going to say are the strength is, first off, the IS-6, just like the IS-5, has an extremely good rate of fire on the 122mm gun. This rate of fire is so good. Like, the DPM far surpasses the IS-3 with this gun. Unfortunately, unlike the IS-5, the IS-6 actually suffers from penetration. You only get 186 pen on the standard rounds, and even with premium ammunition, your penetration only goes up to 225. For a bit of um, perspective, 225 premium penetration is basically if you turn this IS-6 into the IS-3's BL-9 gun firing regular AP. So it's not going to be very impressive. What the heck? Why am I at 36 or 36? Okay, there we go. We'll just take one more HE. So, yeah. The premium ammunition is having such low penetration will mean it will be significantly harder to fight tier 9 opponents, and yes, this does meet tier 9 tanks only. It won't meet tier 10s, which is great because it only has 225 pen. And if this met E100s with 225 pen, I would cry. But luckily it doesn't. So the other thing, unlike the IS-5 in the previous tank review, the IS-6 actually has really good armor. Now, the thickness is only 110 millimeters, but the armor is angled pretty well. As you can see, this upper plate is very, very well angled, and because it's not an actual pike nose, it's kind of like got like the sort of ST1 and IS-4 thing going on where they have plates on the side. This means you can actually angle your IS-6 slightly about here, and it makes the upper plate, rather than just being like straight on, it makes the upper plate a little bit more effective here, makes the lower plate a little bit more effective, which is actually pretty hard to pen if you're equal or lower tier with standard ammunition, at least, unless it's like a tank destroyer or heavy tank. And it makes this okay difficulty to pen. The other thing is that because this has 100 millimeters of side armor, while it doesn't have any really spaced armor here, the 100 millimeters is pretty thick and there's a slight angle to it, which means you can side scrape very well with the IS-6. One thing that I've experienced fighting the IS-6 is that these cupolas are extremely hard to hit as long as you're moving your turret. You can easily gun block these with your barrel and prevent the enemy from shooting it. Your turret is easy to pen with if the enemy fires like premium ammunition through your mantlet or high penetration tank destroyer rounds. But aside from that, the IS-6 is an absolute monster. So much so that what I would say for the IS-6, if you cannot buy a Defender or a Scorpion G, because sometimes those are not in the premium shop, but you need a premium tank now, or you want a premium tank now, I would say the IS-6 is probably the best tank you could get. Like, regardless of player skill. There is a reason why the IS-6 is that go-to tank for just roll your face on the keyboard and you get a good game. It's because the IS-6 is strong. Of course, when you fight a defender, it is not very fun in the IS-6. But considering this is a preferential tier 8 premium tank, this is a very, very nice pickup. It's going to be fun for people to play. It requires very minimal angling, if at all, and it's a real powerhouse at tier 8, aside from the penetration, especially with that crazy rate of fire. So, what I'm running on the IS-6 is the normal set of consumables and directives, unlike the IS-5, where you're just trying to mitigate that terrible 0.46 accuracy. You don't have to do that, even with not real. I don't know why my IS-4 crew has terribleness, but ignore that. Even though my crew is not the best at all, and I don't even. Are they even 100%? They are 100%. Okay. So even though my crew's not the best at all, with the improved aiming class 1, which is what I use, the ventilation, these two are the ones that are buffing my accuracy. We managed to get a 0.39 accuracy, which is very, very nice for a 122mm gun. I wouldn't mess around with the aim time because 2.6 is already really good, and if I were to have Brothers in Arms, it would go down to 0.38 accuracy, which is very respectable for this type of gun at this tier, and 2.5 second aim time, which is pretty close to medium tank level of aim time, which is around that 2.3 second mark. So overall, the gun on this thing is really, really good. You can see that 6.1 rate of fire. That is crazy rate of fire. Now, what you could potentially do is go with improved hardening, which would actually give the IS-6 a buff to 1,710 HP. But I feel like that would be a terrible idea, honestly, because ventilation just gives you that overall buff to the tank on the other statistics. One that is a potentially okay idea is the modified configuration, because it makes it harder to ammo rack you, which is a real problem in the IS series of tanks, as the ammo rack is located right in this front area. I'm not sure if you can hit it on both sides, but I know one of these sides has the ammo rack located right there, which makes you susceptible to that. So that would basically make it impossible for you to get ammo rack, and then it also increases your repair speed, and since this is an IS tank, you would be side scraping and expect your traps to be damaged or broke most of the time. So that just helps. Anyways, we're going to get into a live battle, because I think, you know what, I think I want to play them live, so I can try and give, like, I don't want to cherry pick a replay, right? So let's get into a live gameplay. And as we load in here on Redshire, we can see it's a full tier 8 match, so there's no tier 6s and tier 7s for us to munch on, which is a little bit unfortunate because it would showcase how powerful this IS-6 is against those lower tiers, but I mean, anybody can figure that out for themselves. It would be a top tier tank, literally just killing lower tier tanks. So, yeah. So anyways, we're here on the Redshire map, which means we're going to go over to the heavy tank area over here. The only thing that I need to worry about is the fact that I'll be fighting things like the IS-6 as well. The IS-6, the 252U, which are in a platoon by the way, and this E75TS, these tanks are going to be difficult for me to penetrate. I have like medium tank penetration on this heavy tank. 186 does not go very far in the realm of heavy tanks, brawling face to face, thick frontal armor, right? It doesn't work very well. Now, I could load my premium and fire 225mm penetration, premium rounds, but since the IS-6, unlike the IS-5 in my previous review, by the way, if you couldn't tell already, I'm really trying to plug it. But anyways, unlike that tank, this tank is normally bought for the purpose of getting credits. Okay, that was a bit hard to get a shot off there. So what we're gonna try to do, we're gonna go for this LT. I can't actually see him. Okay, never mind. So he's got away. And so since you want to make credits, I want to show you guys how to make it work with armor piercing rounds. It will mean that I'll have to play. You really will have to outsmart these enemy heavy tanks in order to get the drop on them. Okay, so I need to watch out here. I don't want to get spotted too early because the TDs on the right will shoot me. So I'm pushing up here. I don't think I'm spotted yet. That's great. Awesome. So now that we're here, the artillery obviously is shooting over here, which sucks. But so because of the way the IS-6 plates are, we can poke out just like so, bouncing an AP round from the E-75 TS, and I knew he would struggle to pen me there. The only issue here is that I'm going to struggle to pen him as well. So the way he's playing, okay, so he's going to start side scraping, which is not ideal for me. Let's see, can I... Okay. So we'll go for the cupola shot, and then we're going to immediately back off because there's no reason to sit there while we're reloading. There's an Emil on our side, and we're going to aim for a side shot, and unfortunately my teammate's cupola is in the way. I don't know what he's doing. Thank you, man. So that's just unfortunate there. It does help with these Russian 122mm guns to know exactly what plates you can overmatch, and I can overmatch the side plates of the Emil 51 there. Okay, so now we're going to push up a little bit more. This E-75 TS is going to be aggressive. He misses a shot, and we put a shot into his track. He uses his repair kit to fix that, which means he's definitely at a disadvantage here. We're going to put another shot into his side, and this is where the IS-6 is so strong. That 9-second reload, faster than the IS-3, faster than basically any other 122mm shell caliber gun at tier 8. The only thing that beats this is literally another IS-6 or even the IS-5. And honestly, the IS-6 has a pretty decent matchup with... Okay, so we're going to use this, and we're going to blind fire the SC-130. Unfortunately, we don't actually hit him. Okay, buddy. Okay, so I went for a shot there. Unfortunately, the artillery are on us. So you might be thinking it'd be a good idea to go up here, but unfortunately there's an SU-130. Actually, we can get a shot there. That was just bad aiming by me. Okay, so the SU-130, he's gonna back off, which is good news for us. And if I could, you know, be good. I mean, this is how I play, guys. So I wonder why I'm not a Unicum. Okay, so we can get a shot here into his cupola, and I mean, you can see what I mean. The cupola is not the easiest thing to hit. Obviously, it's significantly easier for me because I'm shooting down on these guys. The artillery hits me for 400. Okay, where is he at? We're going to leave this right there, so then my team can figure out that artillery is right there. Okay, so my team are doing all the work. Okay, we're gonna back up a little bit. Okay, there we go. I really want to get revenge on this guy. We're going to click him, and we're going to get the artillery. Finally, there we go. So now this is definitely just going to be a cleanup here in the IS-6. We're going to use the high ground here on the hill to prop myself up to actually get some shots on this guy, because obviously I'm not going to shoot him any other way. Never mind. So he dies. That was an okay game, you know, 1500 damage, we blocked a little bit, we also got some assistance damage from tracking the E-75 and the IS-6, but you know what, guys, I think we can do better. I think we can do better. Let's get into another match. And here we are in another live match. As you can see, it is also a full tier 8 match. This time we're on Murovanka. This is some interesting team lineups right here. So we have two defenders in a platoon, which is pretty interesting. So we definitely, I feel like this is going to be a much closer match because they also have very, very strong heavy tanks in the 703, the Luva, and the Samua. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm not going to go to what would be perceived as a normal heavy tank spot. I feel like that spot's terrible because these TDs are just going to camp back here and just shoot things, and then whatever medium tanks have good gun depression, such as the Progetto or the T-26E4 would be back there, and then let alone artillery. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the forest here, which is not too bad of a play considering this is an IS-6, and as you can see we get up to about 34-35 kilometers here, which is very, very impressive for a heavy tank with the type of armor that the IS-6 is packing. Which means we could get into position around the same time, if not just a little bit slower than some of these medium tanks. We're getting into position around the same time as the T-54 Mod 1, which is a pretty well-armored heavy tank. Heavy tank? What? Medium tank. And we're only really beat by Brask. Okay, so it's important to look at your mini-map. So the Scorpion was spotted on the other side of the map. The AMX AC is over there, which means we have no idea where the Ferdy is. Luva, Carnarvon, and KV4 over there, but Samua and 703 are playing in literally the weirdest position I've ever seen any heavy tank players go in the history of World Tanks. Okay, so here we go. We're just gonna try and get some spots on people. So we spot the Super Pershing here. It's pretty normal spot that you would expect a Super Pershing to potentially take. That's fine. Now, what I want to do, I want to try and get some shots on this Super Pershing, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to really expose myself to a Ferdy or stuff like that, which I did, because even though I'm saying it, doesn't mean I'm actually doing it. So, all their medium tanks are here. I want to try and utilize the hill here, just going further and further out on the hill to reduce the amount of gun depression needed to actually poke these guys while being hull down. So I put a shot into the Progetto, Spaghetto Progetto. He doesn't want to poke again. Now I'm going to push on into his T-69 because he's just sitting there like an idiot waiting for an IS-6 to reload. And now the Super Pershing has decided to put on his man pants and is pushing up. So what we're going to do, we're going to aim in. We're going to just click because this is a Russian tank, and honestly it doesn't really matter. So now we're going to keep pushing. Unfortunately it does look like he's going to get into cover, or he's not. And we're going to try and take a shot at him again. Okay, a bit unfortunate there. I'd like our T-54 Mod 1 to not be blocking me too much, but you know, he's going to do what he's going to do. And we're going to, man, unfortunate. We're just not hitting bullet shots, which is actually really, really bad. So we're gonna get a shot into the side there. Unfortunately, this Progetto, he's gonna get behind us. That's a-okay. We're gonna go for his fuel tanks there. Okay, he's gonna pen us. That sucks a little bit. So we're gonna angle here, angle. And then we're gonna wait. Gonna pen the side of his turret that we can actually pen, and we're going to angle. Bait them into lower plate or the side. And I'm going to miss like an absolute muppet and die. So what went wrong here? Unfortunately, we just got overrun, and I got a little bit unlucky with some of my shots. And yeah, I mean, it does happen. We did manage to get 2,000 damage almost here, 300 spotting as well, and we blocked a shot. Or technically two, because the one guy, he shot into our tracks. But overall, you can see definitely the IS-6, I mean, hey, if you're getting 2,000 damage, 1,500, about the HP pool of this vehicle, and you're going up to 2,000 damage per match, that is going to get you wins. Unfortunately, it didn't get us wins today. Perhaps I will play the IS-6 a little bit more and try and get a good replay for you guys and commentate over it. But hey, this is me playing live. We got one win, we got one loss. That's a 50% win rate. I've only played about 20 matches in the IS-6. This was my first times playing the IS-6, and honestly, it's pretty fun tank. Not gonna lie. And we're gonna look at the credit income that we got from both those matches now to see what kind of credit income we're making on a loss and a win. So we earn total 58,000 credits here on this defeat. We do have a premium account. So let's see what that gives us. It gives us 42,000 credits profit with premium account, or 22,000 credits profit with a standard account. That is very, very nice. It's great profit, honestly. And of course, we finished on top of our team here. We would have been like fourth place on the enemy team. Very decent match here. It's a bit unfortunate that some of our tanks literally did absolutely nothing. It really hurts to see a defender only do about 1 or 2 shots of damage. One of those was just a kill, cleanup kill. So that's pretty disappointing. So in the previous match as well, let's look at that. We managed to earn a overall of 114,000 credits, which ended up being 100,000 credits profit. Because look at this. Even if we didn't have a premium account, I mean, granted we did complete some missions, we would have got 79,000. Even if we take the 50,000 off, that would still be almost 30,000 credits profit. That is great credit income on a very fun tank. Honestly, this tank is pretty fun to play, and while I was showing tier 8 matches here, in the live gameplay, I feel like that's something that's, replicable to an average player at least, right? So, yeah. Overall, my verdict for the IS-6 is that it is a great premium tank. Very, very strong, as long as you know what you're doing a little bit, and hopefully you can hit your shots, unlike me in that last match, and kill the stupid super Pershing so you can shoot other tanks. As long as you can do stuff like that, you will do great in the IS-6. On the rankings of premium vehicles, I would say this would probably be towards the top class, definitely top 10 premium vehicles in terms of like what you should purchase being a player of this game, regardless of skill level. Regardless of skill level, the IS-6 is a very, very strong tank and worth picking up. Anyways, that's going to be it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving the video a like. Consider commenting, letting me know some feedback. I love all feedback, and I love to read the comments. Sometimes I reply to them. But yeah, what other tanks would you like me to do a review on? Remember, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to review tier 8 premiums, or actually any premiums, because I am mostly free to play, and aside from like gold I get for tournaments and whatever. So yeah, let me know what tanks would you like me to do a tank review on, or should I redo my tank review on some of my other tanks that I've done tank reviews on, with the 1.10 update. I probably will do that, because the 1.10 update has brought a lot of new things. The one thing I will say is very, very annoying for the 1.10 update is that Wargaming did, in fact, change something. This is just like a side remark, guys, towards the end of the video here. If you're watching this, I appreciate it. Comment in your comment, put hashtag bagels rant, so I know that you watch this part, and I'll pin whoever's the first person to put hashtag bagel rant in their comment. So, whatever you want to say, it will be pinned on here forever. But anyways, so one thing that really, 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 really annoys me is that you can no longer demount binoculars for free and put them on other vehicles. You will have to spend 10 gold, unlike before. The same thing goes for camo nets. You have to demount your camo nets, which is very, very annoying for me. I don't know why Wargaming changed that. It makes 0 sense. Like, literally, it just makes 0 sense. It's so stupid. Let us buy the camonet and the binoculars, and let us demount and place them on whatever tank of that class that we want to. If it's a class 1 like this, let us put it on other tier 8 to 10 vehicles for free. That was one of the main things with the binocular telescope. It was a great equipment to have because you could just demount and remount it. I don't see why that has to change when now it's separated by 3 classes. That's really, really dumb. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys noticed this with the binoculars and the camo net? It'll be interesting to know what you guys think, especially if this is the first time you guys are hearing about this. But yeah, that's going to be it. By the way, in case you don't know, I am a VTuber. This is my 2D avatar drawing thingamajaggy. Hopefully I'll make 3D soon. If you'd like to see more VTuber bagels, I'll do other videos featuring VTuber. And most of my videos will probably maintain unless it's like a replay of myself, I'll probably keep out the VTuber part just for the sake of the content, such as this tank review. And if you'd like to watch me play live, hopefully better than these two live matches, then go and check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/Bagels Gaming Live. Um, if you appreciate my content enough to support me monetarily, the ways you do that is obviously Patreon and Twitch. Links in the description. I'm done now. Bagels Gaming here. Peace out.
You don't talk, baby. I wasted